Hey y'all, welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today SHOEONHEAD is back, and so that means I am back. I'm reacting to her newest video, What Trump Really Destroyed, the Dark Truth Behind USAID. I don't know why I struggled with that. Anyway, let's see what she has to say.
Donald Trump, along with Elon Musk, have created a new government agency called Doge. And what I originally thought was just an older sibling giving a younger sibling an unplugged video game controller actually turned into a real thing. And their first order of business was dismantling USAID, an innocent government program that helped poor people all around the world.
I'm sorry to stop so early in, but I just need to give credit to all the content creators, all the creators out there who have made like this Elon Trump relationship, like made light of it, fun of it in the funniest ways. For her to say what started off as what I thought like an older sibling giving a younger sibling an unplugged control, like basically saying like letting them feel like they have some power, but they actually don't. She's like that. No, he has power. Everyone feels like they're somewhat on the same page, or that we're all witnessing the same thing, and I love it. I just think it's funny. I like how creative everyone can be in their way of explaining it. Am I surprised? No, because she's the wittiest of them all, but I just had to stop and give her and everyone else I've been reacting to lately their flowers because I think it's funny. I think it's funny.
USAID, an innocent government program that helped poor people all around the world. Or was it? Hello and welcome back to the SHOEONHEAD channel. I am SHOEONHEAD and I am not real. I am a figment of your imagination. You have been in a coma since 2012. Wake up. Wake up. Today we will be talking about the dark, seedy underbelly of USAID. This is a topic I've been interested in for a very long time now. And now that recently USAID has been in the news, I figured it is a perfect time to finally talk about it. All the mainstream liberal coverage I've seen of this has basically been late-night talk show hosts crying fake tears about it being dismantled, and all the mainstream Republican coverage has just been about all the woke shit USAID was apparently funding. But I promise you, it is more than that. A lot more. If you're not a very political person and you only come here to consume the Reddit gender war slop, you should still stick around for this because this gets juicy. And remember, even if you're not interested in politics, politics is interested in you. And trust me, I understand why some people aren't interested in politics. It's confusing, it's stressful, it's a lot to keep up with. I feel like 500 things happen every single day.
Thank you for saying that, Shu. Thank you for saying that. For those of you that like to comment on my videos or anyone else's videos telling us how underinformed we are or how we should stop reacting to politics, it's like, it is quite literally our life. Like, it is our life. How are we not, like, what if I'm trying to be informed? Like, you want me to just stop because you don't like the way I'm doing it or what I'm doing or what I'm reacting to? It is. It's overwhelming. It's stressful. It is very confusing at times. I said recently in a video that, in my opinion, there is the right side, the left side, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. Because I do feel like you have an extreme over here, you have an extreme over there. And if it could just, do you know what I mean? Like, the truth is somewhere in there. You know, I also was watching something, gosh, what was I watching? And there was a quote in there that said, a fact is a fact. Dang, what was the quote? A fact? I hate when I do this to myself. A fact is a fact until you find the truth or something like that. Essentially saying like everyone can shout out and say it's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. That's literally what is happening in our government. This side says it's a fact. That side says it's a fact. It's like, so for the people who are trying to understand, they have to do a lot of work to figure out what the actual facts are. And that's why I feel like it's somewhere in the middle. Somewhere.
It's confusing, it's stressful, it's a lot to keep up with. I feel like 500 things happen every single day. But thankfully, I have a tool to help with that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is sponsored by USAID. Just kidding, this video is sponsored by Ground News. Let's quickly give them a shout out and then we will jump back into this deep dive, shall we?
Let's.
Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of political bias that helps you understand the full story and makes sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features of Ground News has to be the blind spot feature. It shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other side. For example, here is a story about how Elon Musk apparently pressured the Reddit CEO to moderate content on the site. Right away, we can see that the story has been covered by 12 sources, and out of these 12 sources, 75% lean left, and no right-wing sources have covered it. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see how political bias or ownership can affect the framing of a story. For example, this right-wing headline about how Trump is taking executive action to make DC safe and beautiful, while this left-leaning headline frames the same story as Trump wants Washington, DC to be Berlin 1939. What? I've been using Ground News for 4 years now because it's great, I love it, and it really helps me see how both sides frame things so differently. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is what I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only $5 a month. That's like the price of a coffee, and it is so worth it. It is one of the first apps I check in the morning. It's great. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code on screen right here, or use the link in the video description down below. Again, that is ground.news/shoe, or click the link down below. I think what they're doing is super important because it helps people approach the news in a more fair and balanced way, and I feel like we need that now more than ever. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right. Now let's get back to this USAID deep dive, shall we? So Donald Trump and Elon Musk created the Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge. Get it? Like the Reddit meme from 2012? Epic bacon, my fellow memers. Honestly, who am I to talk about dead memes? My username is SHOEONHEAD. So Doge's supposed goal seems to be cutting useless spending the government is making us pay taxes on. Now, I have very mixed feelings about taxes. From each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. Taxation is theft! The tree of liberty will be refreshed with the blood of tyrants! My opinion has always been, if we are going to pay taxes in this country, could they at least go to things that actually help people, like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, child tax credits, firefighters, fixing our bridges and roads, castrating pedophiles, government-funded girlfriends, things like that. And yes, we should be auditing the government. I think that's a good thing. Frankly, I don't care who does it as long as they do it well. Good things are good, bad things are bad. I'm anti-bad things, pro-good things. Those are my politics.
This is me. What she just said is me. Are you ready? Are you listening? I pressed the wrong thing. I got excited. Okay.
I think that's a good thing. Frankly, I don't care who does it as long as they do it well. Good.
Well, number one, I agree. I don't care who's doing it as long as they're doing it well. I think a lot of people don't like that Elon is in charge. And so they take issue with it. But for me, if it all ends up for the greater good, I'm fine.
Should be auditing the government. I think that's a good thing. Frankly, I don't care who does it as long as they do it well. Good things are good, bad things are bad. I'm anti-bad things, pro-good things. Those are my politics. And hating libertarians. Just kidding, I love libertarians. I get along great with them. As long as we don't talk about child labor. Anyway, Doge got straight to work, firing government workers and basically hiring my Twitter mutuals. What was once a theater kid-occupied government is now a right-wing schizo poster-occupied government. No, I am not joking.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside Doge.
If you had told me 10 years ago that Donald Trump and Elon Musk would hire some Zoomer named Big Balls to help audit the government, I'd believe it. Like, yeah, that checks out. They have no relevant experience. Most of them aren't old enough to rent a car. They're not even old enough to rent a car. They're in their 20s. We sent 18-year-olds to go die in the wars you cheerlead on, you evil hag. Why are they so focused on the ages of these people when our government is basically a retirement home? But honestly, I
agree with this. Let's get the dinosaurs out and let's bring some fresh brains, some fresh perspective, some fresh fingers, eyes, ears, noses, and toes. Let's do that. I agree. Like, age genuinely does not equate to competency or ability. No. And the way that some of our politicians, leaders behave is unprofessional anyway. So why not let a child come in and be unprofessional? Or perhaps they will be more professional. I don't know, but I agree. It's just like, what? I'm ready for everyone of a certain age in the government who is just stuck in their ways and they're not like willing to do anything for the greater good because they're just stuck in their ways. Like, dismissed. Class is dismissed. Dismissed. Go retire. Enjoy your life. Like, hit the road.
Is so focused on the ages of these people when our government is basically a retirement home. But honestly, I don't blame Hillary Clinton. If I were her, I also wouldn't want 22-year-olds in the government. Months before dismantling the Department of Education, or apparently Sesame Street, Doge's first order of business was dismantling USAID.
Without providing any proof, Elon said USAID is a criminal organization. Oh yeah, they're an international crime syndicate hell-bent on helping people.
Pretty f***ed up, huh? Taking money away from an aid program that helps poor people all around the world. Except USAID was not exactly that. In fact, it doesn't even f***ing stand for aid. It stands for a United States Agency for International Development. It has f*** all to do with aid. But honestly, I don't blame you for thinking it does. After all, they do make the word aid a different color in the logo. Those sneaky bastards. Although it said USAID provides 42% of global aid, the truth is most of those funds are just spent paying US contractors and secretly conducting regime change all around the world. In fact, 80% of all USAID funding goes to just 75 organizations, while only 6% of that goes to aid. And by auditing USAID, Doge exposed the true, real puppet masters behind the secret cabal of evil masterminds funding the woke ideology spreading all around the globe.
I'm shook.
You. Yes, it was you, American taxpayer. Turns out the deep state was the friends we made along the way. And yes, it's true, we are spending billions of dollars in our tax money to fund things like teaching Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language, combating disinformation in Kazakhstan, promoting inclusion in Vietnam, millions to an Armenian LGBT group, millions to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem, millions for LGBT causes in the Western Balkans, millions for LGBT activism in Uganda, millions for atheism in Nepal, millions for male circumcision around the world, and $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala.
What? This is the aid? This is the help? I'm floored. I'm flabbergasted. I am without words.
Circumcision around the world, and $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. And many other things that were so ridiculous I had to double check to make sure I wasn't being trolled. Taxpayer-funded sex changes in Guatemala? We don't even do that here! Now, you might be saying, Shoo, this seems like some stupid anti-woke shit. And yeah, kind of. You got me. But I ask you, young naive liberal, why the f*** was John Bolton once the head of USAID? John Bolton, for those of you who are unaware, is an infamous neocon hack. He's literally criticized Trump for not being enough of a warmonger. Neocon hacks, for those same few of you who are unaware, are the people in our government responsible for meddling with other countries all around the world and getting us into wars for basically funsies. The people who suck the teat of Raytheon, Boeing, etc. The military-industrial complex's favorite Discord kittens. These guys come in shades of red and blue. So why was John Bolton, a red guy, in charge of the same program, USAID, that is sending American taxpayer money to foreign countries to have things like trans pride parades? The truth is, the USAID thing goes a lot deeper than what a lot of Republican commentators are saying. It wasn't just a bunch of libtards in government wasting our money on stupid woke things. No, there's way more than that. You see, it's current year and we can't just do old-fashioned imperialism anymore. The people don't like that. It's a new era, so we have to dress it up in glitter. and rainbows. To put it bluntly, USAID is nothing but another form of taxpayer-funded regime change, wearing an innocent mask of aid. Shut up!
Am I the only one who can't get over the fact that a Republican was overseeing this? Is just, I'm the only one? We're just gonna skate right up. I am lost for words at this video. I will admit to you that when you first hear USAID is being dismantled, you're like, wait, huh? Isn't that the department that like aids all the other countries and the things that they need, like curing perhaps maybe diseases like AIDS? I don't know. And then I'm overwhelmed. This is overwhelming. And this is truly why so many of us, I think more specifically my age, millennials, Gen Z, need to really be getting out here and digging to find more. Even if it is a false narrative, at least you're doing some digging to then hopefully put you in the right direction or make you do more digging, right? Like if I were to watch this and someone would say that video was a complete lie, had I not watched it, I wouldn't have received your feedback, and then I wouldn't have wanted to go and do more digging on my own. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, even if you feel something that I react to is wrong, I wouldn't have encountered any of this had I not just decided to like do a little bit more, react to things other than music from the 60s and the 50s and the 70s, you know? And so it just is like, this is mind-blowing. Even if 1% of what she's saying in this video is right, it's still like, I feel like I'm rambling because I'm shook. I'm shooketh. I'm shook to my core.
Form of taxpayer-funded regime change, wearing an innocent mask of aid. Shut up, Shoe! You dumb bimbo populist! You reactionary shitlord! You cry, tears running down your fat, retarded face. The United States is just giving foreign countries billions of dollars out of the kindness of their hearts. Oh yeah? I have a lovely bridge on sale down the road. Would you like to buy it? Listen, despite all its faults, I love America, and I love the American people. But if you believe the corrupt, greedy bureaucrats running the deep state of this country do anything out of the kindness of their hearts, you are a sweet, innocent angel, and you need to be protected at all costs. I especially side-eye any leftist who has the nerve to run defense for USAID, especially those who call themselves socialists or commies, considering the fact that USAID was basically originally created to destroy communist countries all around the world. Established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy under the noble guise of aiding developing nations, USAID was, in many respects, an instrument during the Cold War to counter Soviet influence and keep the Third World from crafting its own socioeconomic model. A year after President John Kennedy created USAID in 1961, he told its directors that, as we do not want to send American troops to a great many areas where freedom may be under attack, we send you. It wasn't long before the CIA spotted an opportunity to extend its reach. In 1962, USAID launched its Office of Public Safety to send agents around the world under the guise of training police officers. But as it turned out, the trainers were busy teaching enhanced interrogation techniques, a euphemism for torture. The scandal broke out in 1966, and although the office was finally shut down in 1974, the dark practices persisted within military and intelligence circles. By 1980, USAID Administrator John Gilligan was candid enough to describe the agency as nothing more than a graduate school for the CIA. At one time, many aid field offices were infiltrated from top to bottom with CIA people, he said. It was pretty well known in the agency who they were and what they were up to. The idea was to plant operatives in every kind of activity we had overseas, government, volunteer, religious, every kind. USAID was quickly nicknamed the CIA's little sister. Oh, and here is John Bolton holding a trophy given to him by USAID in the shape of a hand grenade. Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. So let's talk about Zun Zaneo, shall we? Sit down. I love this story. Taken directly from Wikipedia, Zunzaneo was an online social networking and microblogging service created by the United States Agency for International Development, aka USAID, and marketed to Cuban users. It was covertly developed as a long-term strategy to encourage Cuban youths to revolt against the nation's government. The developers aimed to use non-controversial content, such as sports and music, to build up subscribers and then to slowly introduce political messages through social bots to encourage dissent in an astroturfing initiative.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Even if on the simplest scale, right? Like we talk about the bots that pop up in my comments that are like, hey, WhatsApp me, you want a prize? And then they scam people out of like $300 because they say they're going to send you a package, but you have to pay for the shipping or something. Even if on the smallest scale, this is true. How demented is this? That this is, y'all, I am beside myself. I am not well. Did you read that?
Introduce political messages through social bots to encourage dissent in an astroturfing initiative. So basically, USAID created a fake-ass social media platform in Cuba with our tax dollars, flooded it with bot content about like sports and music and whatever, just to make it seem normal, then slowly started to manipulate the users and create political division on the app between Cuban citizens in order to create political chaos in this country and a potential uprising. So yeah, how dare we take money away from those starving undercover agents? To make things even more sus, the money we spent on Zunzaneo was publicly documented as an unnamed project in Pakistan. Yes, this fake-ass social media psyop they created in Cuba was documented by our government as being a project in Pakistan. Now, think of all the other weird shit USAID was supposedly funding. Those sex changes in Guatemala. Were they really sex changes in Guatemala? Or were they some covert psyop being done somewhere else in the world? I guess we'll never know now. Using social media to divide somewhere else changes in Guatemala? Or were they some covert psyop being done somewhere else in the world? I guess.
Website offline as Trump moves to put agency under State Department. Let me spit my gum out because I have some things to say. Okay, so it is becoming more and more apparent to me, especially in my reactions to videos about Doge and its work and its digging and specific agencies it is unveiling. It just is becoming more clear and clearer to it's becoming clearer and clearer to me why Trump has the following that he has, because in a nation where our government has been so untrustworthy, so shady, this administration feels like they are adamant about not only cleaning it up, but exposing it. And do I believe that this administration is doing shady stuff too? I believe every administration is doing shady stuff, every single one, because that's what the government does. But I think the glitz and the glam of it all is that we've never had an administration that has pulled the veil back in such a transparent, like, unfiltered way, and people are attracted to that. And I get it. I totally get it. It's just like, if all of this has been going on under our noses with our hard-earned dollars. I've been working since I was 14 years old in a, like, not babysitting. I'm talking like a real job where they were taking taxes out. Like, I used to walk to work every day at 14 years old. And now I work for myself, and I have to give the government a very large amount of money every April. Okay? And to think this is where my money is going, shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Burn it to the ground. This is insane. It 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 is insane. And again, I can understand more and more as I watch these videos. It just becomes clearer and clearer to me, like, why this 2.0 version of the Trump administration has such a core, intense following, because if you've been aware or privy to or educated on what's really been going on in the government, you probably have been wanting this to be cleaned up for a long time. But for those of us, I'm saying us because I am transparently including myself in the fact that, like, I've not always cared what's going on in the government. I've not always looked to understand it, because like Shu said at the beginning of the video, it's always been overwhelming to me, super confusing, and I've never really felt affected by it. But as I've grown older, I've gotten married, I've brought children into this world, I've started businesses, I have cared more and more every single day. And this is unfathomable to me. It's gross. It's gross. It's gross. And again, I state to you, what else is going on that we'll never know about? We'll never find out. We'll never find out. Let me reapply my gloss and let's keep going.
Or were they some covert psyop being done somewhere else in the world? I guess we'll never know now.
Right. Let's tap in on that and then we'll keep going. So, gender changes in Guatemala sounds outrageous. What are they really doing with it? Where is it really going? Y'all are so bold to say something so bold as to say, like, we're sending money to like you're documenting this. Then where is it really going?
Being done somewhere else in the world. I guess we'll never know now. Using social media to divide the masses and create political division. You don't think... No. They wouldn't do that. I mean, it's kind of weird they asked the former founder of Twitter to help with this project, but no. They would only do social media psyops in other countries, right? In March 2024, a document was exposed that revealed USAID was running covert psyops all around the internet in order to combat populist misinformation about the government on Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and 4chan. Although its internal justification was halting the flow of mis- and disinformation, it seemed particularly concerned with malinformation, a concept it defines as speech that is factually correct but misleading, i.e., bothersome truths the US government would prefer the public does not know. USAID suggests directing the public toward mainstream corporate sources of information and psychologically inoculating them against inconvenient facts that challenge US power by pre-bunking information before people see it. Pre-bunking includes discrediting the brand, the credibility, and reputation of those making false allegations. In other words, a state-directed attack against alternative media and critics of the US government. So basically, USAID was funding a bunch of dorks to go all around social media and be like, source? Every time someone criticizes the government. This is somehow more pathetic than when I used to use an alt account to defend myself on BreadTube subreddits. That is basically what our government was doing. Also, I like how this implies the people you called a Fed online might have actually been a Fed. There is a chance that you may have fought with a federal agent, a USAID federal agent on Twitter or 4chan. This also implies that, like, streamers and social media influencers may have been funded by USAID. But who? Who among us? Who would be willing to unquestionably, enthusiastically suck establishment cock that hard?
Y'all know
for all the bad stuff America does around the world.
She was unhinged in this one. She said, forget a subtweet. I'ma drop it right here. Oh, I love this lady. She just gives zero clickety cluck clucks, and she shouldn't. No, that whole, like, you were probably talking to the feds, the ops on social media is insane. I can't be the only one who literally, there's a tightness in my chest watching this video. This is unbelievable.
Establishment cock that hard.
For all the bad stuff America does around the world, USAID was just an organization that did a lot of nice things. Like, it put a lot of money into efforts to help people in a variety of ways, like both materially and culturally. It's just like a nice way for the United States to have a positive presence around the world.
For the record, I do not actually believe Destiny is being funded by USAID. I just thought that transition was funny. I fucking love that quote, though. USAID was just a nice organization that did a lot of nice things, like culturally help people around the world. Culturally help people? Why are we in the business of cultural imperialism? Why do we have to culturally enrich Latin America or the fucking Balkans? So not only are we the world police, but we are now the world HR department? No, thank you. Why are we spending billions of dollars doing fuck-ass shit in other countries while ours crumbles? I don't care about teaching gender studies to Ugandans. The pothole in front of my house hasn't been filled in 3 years. These are my
I know this woman lives in New York State, because the potholes... They're so lucky I drive a Jeep, because my tires can withstand, but my ankles, my child's stroller when I'm walking to the store... Oh.
Studies to Ugandans. The pothole in front of my house hasn't been filled in 3 years. These are my taxes, and I believe my taxes should go to help people in my country. I don't think that's controversial to say. And I know many conservatives agree with me. I'll always hear them say, we can't be spending money in Ukraine. We have to take care of our own. And then they just don't take care of their own. Because that's socialism or communism or something. Listen, do you actually want to take care of your own? Do you actually want your taxes to go towards helping the poor and sick and families in this country? Are you actually America first, or are you corpos and foreign countries first? I'm more than happy to work with you on good things to fix this country. But I don't think the establishment GOP is.
You don't want able-bodied workers on a program that is intended, for example, for single mothers with 2 small children who's just trying to make it. That's what Medicaid is for, not for 29-year-old males sitting on their couches playing video games. We're going to find those guys and we're going to send them back to work.
First of all, Medicaid is for anyone who needs it, period. And second of all, 29-year-old guys? You mean your fucking voter base? You mean the very demographic that is shifting the entire country in your direction? Those guys? Yeah, we're just wasting so much money helping young men. Those greedy gamers just gobbling up all the tax money. Not massive tax cuts to corporations and the rich. Not all the money to...
Let me say something about this, and I could be totally wrong, so feel free to correct me. But as someone who has in the past been on Medicaid, been on WIC, been on SNAP, EBT, whatever your version of it, or as my child was on, like this is when I was a very poor single mom, and all of the hoops, loops, dippity doodads you have to jump through, all of the paperwork, all of the like levels of it, the interviewing you have to do to get this funding, and the very low bar you have to literally limbo under to get approved for this help. There shouldn't be a 29-year-old anywhere that is just getting it if they don't need it. Right? Like if the system is doing what the system's supposed to be doing, checking everything, like I literally still have like nightmares about the amount of time and the phone interviews and all the paperwork and all the websites I had to like fill out stuff on, pages and pages and pages of stuff to be approved, when I really was a single mom struggling to feed my child, to house my child, to like I was making a decision between putting gas in my car and buying her new clothes because she had outgrown all her other clothes. Like that's literally like underwear. Okay. And so like, as someone who has had to go through that process, it felt very like vetted. Like you really had to prove that you were in need of this. So why would there be someone who's just receiving it? I say that to say like, it's happening, and so it needs to be cleaned up. But yeah, like why are we pointing out just 29-year-old men? What if that man needs that assistance? You know, I think it's more of, yes, a single mother of 2 should be getting the help that she needs, but why isn't that anybody who needs the help? Medicaid, Medicare, like whatever it looks like. I don't know. And I am not against America helping other countries. I think America is known as like, it's America, right? It's like they have so much money, they have all this, they have all that. And so part of it is like to whom much is given, much is expected, in the way of like, I do think we should be helping other countries when they are in a time of need, but not, I don't know, at the scale at which we're doing it, and 2, if it is at the detriment of its own citizens. Right? Like maybe we just have a bank account to help y'all, and when that bank account run dry, sorry, we can send our hopes and our thoughts and our prayers. like, sorry, our own people need this money. I don't know what the answer is. But yeah, that is a wildly bizarre thing to me, because I just really remember how hard it was to even get any of that assistance, and how long it took me, and all of the proof. Oh, and all like the phone interviews, the in-person interviews. Oh my goodness, you guys. And so like, y'all are already making it hard for the people who really need it. Who is dropping the ball and allowing people who don't need it to receive it? How is that happening? That is hard. As someone who has literally been through, it's hard for me to understand. And so again, feel free to discuss that with me. Give me your take on that. It's just like, what?
Yeah, we're just wasting so much money helping young men. Those greedy gamers just gobbling
so
up
funny,
all the
Brittnai.
tax money. Not massive tax cuts to corporations and the rich. Not all the money to the bloated military-industrial complex. No. Gamers. Young men who can't find a job, can't afford a house, can't afford college. Young men who can't build a family because of the society you created. Those guys, they need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and pay for their own Medicare. This care isn't for them, it's for women. What? Great to know both sides of the establishment fucking hate young men.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, I popped off. Let's get back on topic. Now, USAID did do some good things. I won't deny that. But even some of the good things USAID did were nothing but a bunch of fronts. Using Cuba as an example again, because these are some of the only ones that have been exposed so far, there was a USAID program called the Travelers Project that was said to be an HIV prevention workshop. But yet again, it was nothing but another covert regime change psyop. This was exposed in 2014 by the Associated Press. Young Venezuelans and Peruvians were deployed by USAID to Cuba's college campuses for $5.41 an hour. Really, USAID? Billions of dollars force feminizing mice, and you can't even pay your spies a living wage? Sad. Anyway, they were used to recruit college students into political organizations with the goal of turning them against their government. The goal of, once again, creating political division. In the exposed memos about this, USAID called their HIV workshop the, quote, perfect excuse. Right. But we're totally funding DEI in Vietnam for pure humanitarian reasons, I'm sure. This was done so sloppily that even our boy John Bolton came out and disavowed it, but not without saying he thought it was a good idea in principle. Yes, it's a great idea to create taxpayer-funded secret psyops all over the world in order to f*** with other countries' politics. Just don't recruit teenagers to do it next time, okay? What? I honestly just think it's kind of funny we were funding anti-socialist agendas all around the world and disguising it as social progressivism. Don't think too hard about that one. Now, Cuba wasn't the only place USAID was culturally helping. On January 12th, 2010, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti, killing 220,000 people, injuring another 300,000, and leaving 1.5 million more homeless. In the wake of the catastrophe, the United States provided $1.6 billion in reconstruction funding to Haiti, $651 million of which went to USAID. Rather than employing Haitian construction companies, USAID contracted out the rebuilding projects to international firms. For instance, Minnesota-based construction firm Thor was awarded $18 million in contracts, and Mexico-based firm Cemex received over $7 million.
So instead of helping the Haitian workforce, the civilians that live there, get these contracts so not only they could rebuild their country, but they could also feed their families, we gave the money. I'm gonna let her continue.
And Mexico-based firm Cemex received over $7 million. But by far the largest recipient of USAID funding in Haiti was Washington, D.C.-based contractor Comonix International, who received over $200 million to carry out a total of 141 projects. In fact, USAID awarded more money to Comonix than to the entire Haitian government in the...
Going back to what I said about, I do feel like America should be helping third world countries like Haiti when they have a devastating natural disaster like this, a country that literally can't pick itself up. But instead, we gave the money to American and Mexican contractors more money than we gave to the entire Haitian government in the wake of the earthquake. And did the projects get done? Probably, but again, instead of trying to actually help the people of Haiti, give them work to rebuild their lives, we gave it to... There wasn't work to do in DC or Minnesota or...
USAID awarded more money to Comonix than to the entire Haitian government in the wake of the earthquake. An audit conducted on Comonix revealed that the company had a tendency to not finish jobs, evaluated its own project on arbitrary criteria, not having to do anything with the project, and failed to set timelines, causing some projects to fall behind schedule. In one case, Comonix was contracted to build Haiti's new parliament building, but what they constructed came out half-finished and unusable. The company only built the framework of the building, not even erecting interior walls to divide office spaces, nor did they bother to furnish the building. Left with this, the Haitian government was forced to draw $775,000 from its public treasury to complete the project. Despite these disastrous results, Comonix to this day remains USAID's top contractor. The construction company was awarded $506.4 million in contracts in 2021 alone. In a leaked email exposed by WikiLeaks, they described this tragedy as a gold rush, ensuring that it would be great for international companies. Seems like the only thing they are culturally helping is their own wallets, am I right? And you know how you always hear about how poor people are in Venezuela and how the politicians are so rich and live in luxury? Yeah, part of that has to do with USAID. Billions of dollars of aid we sent to Venezuela just lined the pockets of US-backed politicians there. Only 2% of the aid we sent to Venezuela actually went to help Venezuelans. So at this point, the whole world was basically sick of USAID's bullshit. In 2013, Bolivian President Evo Morales expelled USAID officials from his country on the grounds that the agency had conspired against his government by allegedly manipulating social movements in the country. He also charged that a previous USAID program that sought to help cocoa farms switch to new crops was politically motivated. Russia expelled the agency in 2012 for similar reasons. Its foreign ministry argued in a statement that USAID attempts to influence political processes through its grants. And in February, Kenyan Cabinet Secretary Francis Kimimya claimed that his government had evidence that USAID had hired activists to organize anti-government protests in Nairobi in an effort to topple the government. Oh, and if you're wondering why so many news outlets and journalists were freaking out over the potential shutting down of USAID, yeah, it's probably because it's where their paychecks were coming from. Yeah, apparently USAID was funding about 6,200 journalists and 707 news outlets all across the world. Not even just America. For example, the editor-in-chief of a Ukrainian news outlet wrote that destroying USAID was a greater threat to Ukrainian journalism than the Russian invasion. What? There were independent outlets shutting down everywhere, including Russia after the USAID freeze. So we were apparently funding media in both Ukraine and Russia.
I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
Serbia, Moldova, all across Latin America, independent outlets shutting down everywhere. All because the little sister of the CIA can't pay no mo. So I have a question. Why the f*** were we funding media in all these other countries? Well, the CEO for the Center of Investigative Reporting, a USAID-supported Bosnian media organization, said it best. Quote, "If you are funded by the US government, there are certain topics that you would simply not go after, because the US government has its interests that are above all else." Oh, I guess that answers my question. USAID is also ridden with other scandals, such as covering up a child sex abuse ring in Kenya, kidnapping and torturing people in Uruguay, forced sterilizing 300,000 Peruvian women, and the famous one you all know, funding drug production in Afghanistan. Oopsie poopsies, we did little fucky wuckies. Now think about all the other shit that hasn't been exposed. These aren't mistakes, these aren't flukes, these aren't little fucky wuckies. This is what this program was set out to do. This is why it was created. We were quite literally funding Globo Homo as a sneaky way to do regime change and American intervention. Or do you think we're spending $1 million in Nepal to promote atheism because Hinduism is such a threat? You're cute. The United States won't sleep until there's an ugly progress flag hanging on Starbucks on every corner of every street all over the world from Latin America to the Middle East. Ah yes, the greatest American exports, butt, sex, and war. There are a shit ton of old left-wing articles you can find online spanning back to like 2010, even earlier, about how evil USAID is. Now suddenly liberals are acting like it's another fucking beacon of democracy that we have to cry and piss and shit about just because it's Trump getting rid of it. Frankly, I don't care if they—
Bingo, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Just because it's Trump getting rid of it. This is what I was saying earlier. It's like, it's just as simple. It for me is as simple as that people don't like the messenger. They just don't like the messenger. They don't like that it's Trump. They don't like that it's Elon. They don't like the messenger. But if they did a little bit more of their own research, they would see like, oh no, but this is burn it to the ground. So again, I totally understand the just die hard, ride or die support that he has, because this don't make no sense.
that we have to cry and piss and shit about just because it's Trump getting rid of it. Frankly, I don't care. If they start dismantling things that I do care about, things that do actually help the American people, then I will care. Expose where the trillions of dollars we spent on the Iraq war went next, please. Or, you know, actually release the Epstein files. Do I think Doge cut USAID because they're our great comrade in arms, cutting off the tentacles of American imperialism? No. Trump probably just cut it because he thought it was a woke, gay waste of money, and it was. But as far as I'm concerned, every article written about how bad dismantling it was written by John Bolton himself. Like the president of Colombia said, take your money with you. It's poison. All the sources I used in this video and all the information I got for this video will be in links down below. Feel free to do your own research as always. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing. A lot of you aren't subscribed apparently. You just watch and f*** off. I will find you. Also, this video is most likely going to be demonetized, so if you can and if you want to, please donate to me on Patreon, link down below. It helps the channel so much, and I appreciate it. And I will see you next time with a less serious, more fun video. Bye!
My bad. I'm back. I hate that her stuff gets demonetized, but, you know, she's doing work that other people aren't willing to do, I suppose, and sometimes that comes with demonetization. This was a lot. This was a lot to take in. I am super interested to see what you all have to say. As always, keep it cute or put it on mute. If you cannot share your opinions kindly, simply don't leave them, all right? Let me know how you feel about it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and Shu's channel because she's incredible. And go and have the day you deserve. Bye.